Have you ever dreamed of selling it all and cruising into the sunset? Well, that's exactly what we did. It's no fun going it alone though, so why don't you join us for the ride? So if you watched our last video, you know that we woke up to an amazing sunrise. And that we were headed off to the Bahamas. I never thought it would look this nice. That beautiful water, awesome kayaking. The problem is, we're not in the Bahamas, and that's not us. So we got a problem. It's a pretty big problem.
What's the problem?
Batteries aren't charging.
So what does that mean?
We got a power problem.
So what does that mean?
We got to get this fixed.
Land bound we go.
Super frustrating. So the issue is, when you're away from shore and on anchor, everything on the boat runs via battery. Those batteries can be recharged during the day either by your solar panels, by running your engines, or by running your generator. And that's not working. If we let the batteries run too low, it'll ruin $2,000 worth of new batteries and spoil all the food that we have for the Bahamas. I wasn't sure what to do next, but then I realized I got a guy. So we were anchored in Stuart, Florida, and I realized we were literally a mile away from where we purchased the boat. And we purchased it from a brokerage, Rumline Yacht Sales, led by the Tushik family. And Dick Tushik started this dealership years ago, and he's the one who educated us on how to use the boat. So why not give Dick a call? We're anchored at the red X on this map, and Dick's house is at the red arrow. So Dick picked up the phone right away and said, "Brian, bring the boat over to my house and tie up behind, and we'll figure this thing out." So here's Dick and his wife, Carol. The first thing I said to Dick when we arrived was, "I can't thank you enough for letting us come here." And Dick said, "Brian, it's nothing. You're part of the PDQ family." Wow. You want to talk about instant relief. So the first thing Dick did was get me in touch with Shearwater Marine in Stuart, Florida to take a look at my generator. And thankfully they can get there the very next day. Andrew from Shearwater quickly diagnosed that I had a hole in my exhaust manifold, but he had to order the part and it would probably take 3 to 5 days to get here. So it looks like we're going to be here for a while. But don't feel sorry for us, because let me tell you, Dick and Carol's place is gorgeous. So let me talk about Carol Tushik, Dick's better half, for a moment. I can say I don't think I've ever met a nicer woman in my life. She is unbelievably hospitable, opens her house to you, invites you over, includes you into everything. She's absolutely amazing. It didn't take me too long to realize why other PDQ owners call this place Camp Carol. So being January in Florida, it can get chilly, and today was no exception, 39 degrees. Being that it was so chilly, we opted to find a laundromat. So between Ubering there and back and doing 2 loads of laundry, the grand total is about $45. Yeah, definitely not good. We really need to re-strategize on how we do laundry. Being at a public laundromat didn't disappoint though, because we got to see 2 guys almost come to blows over some words over parking in front of the laundromat. Quite frankly, though, Laura and I look like a couple of bums ourselves with 2 bags of clothing and a dog. Quite surprised that the Uber even picked us up. So that was enough fun and games for a day. Back on the boat, looks like we have another problem related to the generator. Super frustrating. One thing after another. I guess it's true that everybody handles stress in different ways. And at least we're at Camp Carroll. And one of the benefits is that Carroll loves to introduce you to fellow cruisers. Tim and Ellen from MV Onward were docked right behind us. And here Tim is modeling one of these new inflatable loungers. Pretty cool. After trying it myself, I went online and bought 2, got them shipped overnight. So one of the ways that cruisers exchange contact information is via boat cards. And here's a picture of Tim and Ellen's card and what our boat card looks like. They work out well. So other than my generator issue, my other big problem is my battery's not charging. So here's a look at the electrical panel. As you can see, it's kind of a maze of wires, well beyond my pay grade. So I certainly need some help. And I reached out to Dick about it, and he said to me, "Hey Brian, do you know James Power?" I said, "Yeah, I know James Power." He said, "James Power is going to be here. He's got a few boats to work on, but I'm sure he could squeeze you in, seeing that you have this power issue." Okay, so let me talk a little bit about James Power. And I have to rewind a little bit. So the PDQs were produced up to 2007 in Whitby, Ontario, Canada. James worked in the factory. He worked there for a very long time, everything from joinery to after-sale support. He is the god, the guru, the messiah of all things PDQ. And unbelievably, he's going to be here. So if you can get an audience with James Power, that's like winning the lottery. And James comes to Florida every winter, and as luck would have it, the planets lined up. He's going to be here today. It didn't take James too long to figure out what the issue was and get the replacement parts and get us back in action to charging the batteries. He upgraded this 25-year-old battery combiner unit with something more modern and more robust. Not much for us to do really, so we took advantage of the nice cool weather to take some walks along the North Fork of the St. Lucie River. But even though we fixed the battery issue, we still had the problem with that smoking generator after he replaced the exhaust manifold. So Andrew diagnosed it as a problem with the fuel injectors. He pulled the injectors out, and I need to take them to a shop to get them serviced. So I rented a car and took them down to International Fuel Injector in Boca, and that's where I met Chris. Chris and his team spent 45 minutes with me testing the injectors and showing me what needed to be done. He said that the worst case is he'd have them tomorrow afternoon, and best case tomorrow morning. So I thought that turnaround was pretty damn amazing.
So this is the finished product, the rebuilt fuel injection pump, and the 3 fuel injectors.
So having a rental car for a few days, we wanted to take advantage of it. We cruised around Stuart for a little while, Had to stop in at Dune Dog for one of those famous foot-long dogs. Look at that kraut dog.
I've always liked this street with the banyan trees lining it. We stopped at Sanskrit Park, which is adjacent to the Manatee Pocket, and we were not disappointed as we saw a mom and her calf manatee in the water. We also saw Kenny Chesney with his fishing pole, but he wasn't interested in talking to us.
So tonight I am making a potato corn chowder based off of the potatoes that are quickly going. You can see here, used cream corn. Haven't had that since I was a kid. Some potatoes, and we just bought milk at the grocery store next to the laundromat. And I've got my little assistant here, right, Pancake? Huh? Are you helping Mommy? Are you helping me? Yeah? Kinda. Not really. Who's that? Right. So she loves to assist me when I'm sitting here cooking. She's always looking for a treat. But this will be my dinner tonight. And then Brian bought himself some stuffed raviolis with sausage. So might have some drinks with friends behind us and talk shop about PDQ and next visits. And then clearly you can see we might soon start our happy hour. It is 7:15. So that's it for now. Hope everybody's having a great Saturday. And this is us from Stuart, Florida, day number 7. Cheers.
We had a surprise visit by my brother and nephew, and a very competitive game of Uno. I did find it necessary to ask my nephew some compelling questions.
Hi, kid.
Hi,
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
How old are you?
I'm 13.
When you turned 13?
I just turned 13 yesterday.
What's your outlook on life?
Life is weird.
The look your dog gives you when you're not taking her to dinner with you. It looks like the rebuilt fuel system did not help the smoking issue, so now I have to take matters into my own hands.
Apparently the air filter's in here. There's really no way to get to it. You have to take off this head here, this bolt, this bolt, this bolt, and I think one of these bolts take this whole big cast metal unit off to get to the air filter, which seems like a pretty silly design, but we'll give it a go, see what we find. So I took the valve cover off, and it looks like half of the air filter is gone, and it's stuck. It looks like into maybe the exhaust port right here, if I could best tell. Fish that out of there and see what's going on. Jesus Christ.
So the foam piece was actually stuck in the air intake of the middle cylinder. After removing it and cleaning up the area, Eureka! She's fixed.
So what does that mean?
If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe to our channel so you can follow us along on more adventures.